Last night during DMC, I said that neither the temples eternal, nor the nature, nor fate, nor accident, nor the quel mental factors are the causal matrix, and as such they cannot be accepted as the object of ideation. Not only that, they are not perfect in themselves, but even if these entities come in tactual proximity to one another, they, even under such circumstances, they cannot be accepted or regarded as the goal of human life. You see, if the temples eternal comes in very close proximity to nature, even then we get nothing concrete, nothing adorable. And as you know, nature functions within the scope of tempo eternal. So, even if this tempo eternal comes in closer contact with nature or any other factors, we get nothing new, nothing fresh, nothing adorable. And all accidents take place within the scope of tempos eternal. There is nothing new in it. There is nothing philosophical addition to it. And fate, that is, what is fate? Fate is the unquenched reaction, unsatisfied reaction. When action is done, it is within the scope of tempos, and when reactions take place, it is also within the scope of tempos. Quinquil mental factors, they are the apparent cause of the tempos. So, wherever there is the tempos, or there is the so-called fate, or so-called accident, everywhere the quinquil mental factors are there. So, their mutual touch or combination doesn't create anything novel that can be accepted as the desideratum of human life. The desideratum is a singular one, and I said the plural term desiderata should never be used because the desideratum is a singular one, and that one is Paramapurusha. Now, when Paramapurusha directly or physically comes in contact with these factors, what does happen? Parama Purusha is beyond the periphery of the temples. But when he comes in contact or comes within the jurisdiction of temples, what does happen? Do we get something new then? Paramapurusha is beyond the periphery of temporal and spatial and personal boundaries. But when he comes within their jurisdictions, what does happen or what may happen? Under such circumstances, we say Paramapurusha has become Taraka Brahma. Under such circumstances, he comes here on a particular date, leaves this earth also on a particular date. He takes birth of his quinquile mental body, death of his quinquile mental body. This we find. And as you know, as the hub of the universe, he is an impersonal entity. But when he comes within the jurisdiction of these relative factors, temporal, spatial and personal, he doesn't remain, he does no longer remain an impersonal entity. He becomes something personal, something closer, something closely related. And that is our Taraka Brahma. Now, why does he come in contact with quinquile mental factors? Why does he come within the jurisdictions of temporal, spatial and personal factors, these three fundamental relative factors? What's the cause? There are two reasons. One thing is, human intellect may get satisfaction or may, after coming in psychic contact with the impersonal entity, but human heart is not satisfied with that impersonal entity. Human heart wants something closer, something more sentimental, something more pleasing. And that's why, just to satisfy, just to give pleasure to the progeny, he comes within the scope of these relative factors. The Paramapurusha becomes Taraka Brahma. And the second reason is that in this created world, in this universe, each and every progress is a progress through clashes and cohesions. And human beings must have sufficient intellectual stamina to move forward, fighting against all those pebbles of obstacles. When human intellect fails to do something new in helping the society to move forward, the Paramapurusha finds no other alternative but to bring himself within the scope of temporal, spatial and personal factors, just to guide the depraving and degenerating human society. So these are the two reasons. Now, when the society is in a degenerated or depraved condition, where the pisciparous tendencies dominate, where the static principle dominates, it becomes impossible for the Parama Purusha to remain unaffected or assailed by human sentiments and human cries and human demands. Then and then only he comes in the form of Taraka Brahma. Taraka means the liberator, and that Taraka is the Baba of the created world. For him, the devotees sing Baba Nam Kevalam.